Whatever the case, the top seeds will certainly be different than last year. 3 of the 4 #1 seeds from last year's tourney are bubble teams at best. Let's play in and out with the first up, Louisville.
I'm going to go with Louisville's in. I mean, they play in a tough conference, the Big East Conference. They had a good win against Syracuse, who was number 3 at the time. They play a tough schedule. They play a lot of good teams in the top 25. They have a strong strength of schedule. I think they're in.
I think they're out. I mean, they have a lot of big games left, which means they could have a lot of big losses. And they beat Syracuse, which is a great, convincing game, but they also lost to Western Carolina. Who out there even knew Western Carolina was a D1 team?
I didn't.
Exactly.
All right, what about the Huskies?
The Huskies, I think they're out. Yes, they also play in the Big East Conference, but their head coach has been out with illness. Their players don't look to be playing very inspired basketball, and they're in a tough conference that's going to eat them up. They've had a lot of out-of-conference losses. I don't think they're going to make it this year.
For once, Adam, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I think
that's a
I know, right? I think UConn is out because they lost to a lot of bubble teams. They lost to Louisville, Marquette, Michigan, and Cincinnati twice. And they also have 1 road win on the season. You're not going to go deep. You're not going to win anything if you can't win on the road in any sport, especially in college basketball.
What about the North Carolina Tar Heels?
They're out. They're way out. Yeah, the ACC is not the conference it once was. With the exception of Duke in the top 25, their conference is not as strong as some of the other conferences out there. I don't think they're making it in.
Listen, I mean, North Carolina is going to be in strictly for the reason because they are North Carolina. You look at any sport, you look at the NFL, you know, your Brett Favre's, your Peyton Manning's, your Tom Brady's, they're always going to be in the All-Star game. Why? Because they are who they are. Same with North Carolina. I mean, they might get a 16 seed, but they're going to be in. I guarantee you they'll be in. It's this North Carolina. It's hard to imagine a tournament without North Carolina in there. And I think NCAA knows that, and they got to make money somehow. And they know North Carolina being in there, they will make money.
I think it'll be a big shock if they're in there, especially with their record and strength of schedule. So
we'll see.
All right. Next up is our look at the Buffalo Bills offseason. Each time we will focus on a specific position and what the Bills could do better themselves for next season. Up for debate today is the quarterback position. Do you guys have any solutions?
Well, just recently, the last few weeks, there was talk the Bills were going to look to get Donovan McNabb. We all know what he's done. There have been talks that the Philadelphia Eagles have been in contract extension talk with Kevin Kolb. I mean, if you put the package together right, Philadelphia needs a running back now that Westbrook is gone. We have Marshawn Lynch, expendable. I think Donovan McNabb would be a great fit here in Buffalo if they can fit it, because you look at your free agent quarterbacks, Dante Culpepper, Jason Campbell, Kyle Orton, and Matt Moore. They're not any better than Trent Edwards or Ryan Fitzpatrick are.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the free agent quarterbacks, really no name on that list really stands out as a top quarterback that you want to lead your team into battle. Picking up a Donovan McNabb would be great. All-pro quarterback. He's made Pro Bowls. He's led his team to the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship for the last couple years. Definitely a guy you want to have, but do the Bills have the tools to get Donovan McNabb in there? Donovan McNabb has also been talking to Chicago, who also needs a quarterback as well, so it should be pretty interesting to see who comes up in the Donovan McNabb sweepstakes.
And I think the Bills will, because the Bills and Philadelphia have kind of like a little friendship going on. They Jason Peters trade and whatnot last season, but you know, if the Bills do end up getting Donovan McNabb, they can look towards the draft, and now you don't have to pick a quarterback in your first round. Now you can go after the offensive line that you need so desperately and pick a quarterback like Tony Pike late in the second round, and that way you have him to learn from a Pro Bowl quarterback, and then when Donovan McNabb's time is over, you got Tony Pike coming in, same style quarterback from Cincinnati, playing in cold weather. I think the Bills could set their success for the future for a lot of years if they are smart about this. I really do.
And that's all depending on McNabb picking up a big-time quarterback.
Well, I think any plan might be better than last year's. Last up today, what are you guys looking most forward to watching? What's on?
I'm going to go again with the Olympics, especially hockey. You know, Team Canada in Vancouver. Big-time atmosphere. Canadian fans for every event have been so loud. Watch for that. Team USA. The Swiss team, you know, they're struggling. Sweden, also a very good hockey team. So I'm going to go with the Olympics and then also NASCAR Danica Patrick making her second career start.
I'm going to go again with what I said last show. Syracuse-Georgetown tonight should be a great game, a huge test for both teams. If Syracuse pulls this win off, which they should. They're going against 10th, I think, Georgetown. It's going to be a close game, it's going to be a good game, and we'll see how good both teams are, because Georgetown has the capability of shooting right up the board. Syracuse has the potential to be number one in the country. So Syracuse and Georgetown. Syracuse by 10.
All right, well, that's all for our show. I'm Michelle Mastalone along with Dave and Adam. This has been the DNA Sports Report. Just remember, when it comes to sports, it's in our blood.
Peace out.
Thanks.